Hello and welcome to the Memory Card. Back in October, I celebrated the upcoming release of Super Mario Odyssey by talking about two of the best 3D Mario games ever made, but unfortunately Zelda month was right around the corner, so I knew I was going to be late on my review. But now the dust has settled on all the reviews, and it's time to see if this megaton release lives up to the hype. It's Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. Super Mario Odyssey came out on October 27th of this year, and this game has been built up since last year in the original reveal trailer for the Nintendo Switch. Now back then, we only had a few seconds of gameplay to go off of, but people were already excited about the promise of a new 3D Mario game in the vein of Super Mario 64 and Sunshine. The hype for this game grew even more at the January Switch presentation where Yoshiaki Koizumi name-dropped Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine as inspirations when discussing this game. We saw the first official trailer then, and it looked fantastic, and the subsequent trailer and gameplay at E3 just further fueled the excitement for the game. Personally, I was very excited because I adore 3D Mario games, but I wasn't quite as overwhelmed with my hype and anticipation as I was with Breath of the Wild, so I had a bit of a different mindset going into Super Mario Odyssey. However, like Breath of the Wild, this game not only met my hopes and expectations, but exceeded them. This game is packed to the brim with creativity and joy, and is such a magical experience to play this game. There is so much thoughtfully crafted design here in the levels and the animations and aesthetics to each of the main kingdoms in Mario Odyssey. The game starts off with Mario in the process of already fighting Bowser, which is uncommon in Mario games, and does a good job establishing that this is different from the normal kind of Mario that we're used to. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle already featured a near Pixar level quality of animation, and Super Mario Odyssey keeps that ball rolling. The cartoony art style of Mario just works so well on the Switch, and it looks even better than the fantastic looking Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. Mario has never looked so good or played so well, and a lot of the staple moves are back from Mario 64 Sunshine and Galaxy, like the triple jump, ground pound, and the sideways jump. However, all these moves are somehow easier to pull off in this game, and there are other moves added and refined within Mario's arsenal. The roll from Super Mario 3D Land and 3D World is back, but it's even more useful and fun because you can continually keep rolling. And this is great for getting Mario around quickly when used with the dives. Just about every Mario game has its central defining gimmick to it, like the wing cap in Mario 64 or Flood in Mario Sunshine, and it's no different with Super Mario Odyssey. This time around, Mario is accompanied by Cappy, who is kind of a top hat ghost. His sister Tiara was also kidnapped by Bowser to be Peach's tiara for her wedding dress. Mario starts off defeated, and Cappy joins him and basically takes the place of his hat, which was destroyed in his fight with Bowser. Bowser is going around to all the different kingdoms to get items for his wedding with Peach, and that adds a fun dimension to the story of this game, and I like it more than what's typically done in Mario stories. Even though I don't really need a whole lot to change in a Mario game, I love what Nintendo did here. It's much more interesting than just Bowser hanging around his castle waiting on Mario, or just him going to get big power stars in the different levels. This game also lacks the Koopalings that were established in Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo, and instead, Bowser has his wedding planners, the Brutals. Some of their designs are a bit off-putting, but I love their boss fights, and having them be wedding planners is just a fun little twist to the narrative. But anyway, back to Cappy. The biggest addition to the Mario formula this time around is the capture ability that Cappy allows. Cappy is able to essentially take over just about any creature and a lot of objects in the game with the help that Cappy allows, and this adds so much variety to the gameplay that it's staggering. This game already has some of my favorite levels ever in a Mario game, but adding that mechanic just makes this game that much more phenomenal and special. And Cappy also allows a form of co-op in this game where one player controls Mario and the other controls Cappy, flying around hitting things and all that. It's more fun and you get more to do than the co-op in Super Mario Galaxy, but it's still not quite as full-fledged as like if the second player controlled Luigi or something, which would be nice. But it's still an improvement over Galaxy's co-op, so I guess I can't complain too much. Two other very welcome changes were also implemented in Super Mario Odyssey. By removing the life system and also not taking out levels when you find the power moons in a level. I've never liked live systems in any games I've ever played. They made sense back in the day in arcades, and I can forgive them for being in NES games considering the prevalence of arcades at the time, but they're outdated and an artificial level of difficulty and a hindrance to fun. When I would die in Mario games and start losing lives, I would just get frustrated and turn the game off. But now you just lose 10 coins when you die, and there's not really a game over, which still works as punishment because the coins are more valuable in this game than any prior Mario game, but since you can get so many coins on a level anyway, it doesn't feel like you're being punished too harshly. That and the checkpoints are fairly generous in this game, like in Rayman Legends, so you're never really out of the action for too long, so you just want to keep playing. This game also has power moons instead of stars or shine sprites, and the main point in getting them is to fuel for Mario's airship, the Odyssey. It allows you to get to new levels and all that, which is enough to make you want to get them on their own, along with it just being fun to get them in the first place. And there's an insane amount of moons in this game, close to the same number of Korok seeds that there are in Breath of the Wild. And like in that game, they give a constant sense of surprise, fun, and reward that make this game even more satisfying and fun. And one of the best parts is that the game doesn't kick you out of the level when you get a moon. You can just keep going on like in Banjo-Kazooie on the Nintendo 64. And these changes help make this one of the freshest and most unique and fun Mario games ever made. Now there have been some complaints about the motion controls in this game. It actually recommends that you use the split Joy-Con controls for this game before you get to the main menu. I tried playing with the Pro Controller, split Joy-Cons, and also in handheld mode, just to see how all the different modes functioned, and also just happened naturally just for playing games on the Switch in general. And I liked all these different styles, but I did like split Joy-Con the best. Personally, I just think playing any Switch game with the split Joy-Cons is extremely comfortable, but the extra moves and nuances afforded by the motion controls just make this game more fun, kind of like ARMS does. However, that does mean that in handheld mode, I felt limited playing Super Mario Odyssey, and that's a shame, considering how amazing this game is, and part of the whole deal of the Switch is the ability to play the same games anywhere and in whatever way is most comfortable to you. I enjoyed the motion controls in this game, but I do wish that there was some way to map the more useful motion control functions, like the hat spin, or throwing the hat down underneath you when you jump in the air, to face buttons or something to give the players more options. And also doesn't help that so many of the face buttons just do the same thing of jumping and throwing Cappy. However, the complaints about aspects of the motion controls does not detract from how much I adore this game. The music is fantastic and so catchy, and it really just has some of the best music in the Mario franchise, which is saying something because the Mario and Zelda games both have some of the best music in the entire video game industry. And these levels are so perfectly designed and varied, going from New Donk City's New York City sort of layout and design, to the Cascade Falls with the dinosaur bones and the big beautiful waterfall, to going from deserts and forests. There's just so much variety in this game. It's amazing and truly a sight to behold. And there's also a lot of variety to the gameplay, just from the different capture abilities to the different moves that Mario has at his disposal, the ones that are newly added to this game or just refined from previous games, and also all the great 2D sections that are in these games that add fun little details like the sprite for Mario changing based off of what clothes that you have Mario wearing, and being able to buy different outfits for Mario with all the coins that you get in the levels also just adds more fun to the game, more reason to find those coins, along with just fodder for whenever you fall and die anyway, and lose those 10 coins. And there's just so many joyful surprises around every corner in this game, from weird places that you might find the coins that are specific to the different kingdoms, or different Power Moon locations, or the fun little 2D sections which harken back to Super Mario Bros. On the NES. There's just so many amazing parts of this game. I basically have to limit myself because I would just be here all day talking about how amazing this game is. And that's not even to mention that this game has the best end level of a Mario game to date. And the post game as well, which is better than the main experience of the game itself. Seriously, whenever you beat Bowser, keep playing because you've just started playing Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey is a gift that just keeps on giving. Super Mario Odyssey is truly a masterpiece. Like Breath of the Wild, how it was an amalgamation of all the best parts of the Zelda franchise, Super Mario Odyssey is the same way. It's got amazing, densely packed sandbox like levels, like Super Mario 64, whereas instead of a big expanse like Hyrule and Breath of the Wild, these are more tightly compact areas, but there's just so much in all these small little areas in the game, and it's fantastic. It's just amazing design. And there's more platforming centric areas out in the middle of nowhere, like in Super Mario Galaxy. And there's even the 2D sections that harken all the way back to Super Mario Bros. On the NES. It's really all the best parts of Mario all in one game. It's, in my mind, the best Mario game ever made. And recommendations don't really come much higher than that. But regardless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the memory card.